Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Tasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I do here. I am a love coach specifically for women who want to heal and reconcile after infidelity. I know, crazy ideas, crazy thoughts. However, I kept finding women who were trying to do it. I was a relationship coach. I did premarital counseling. I actually did weddings. And I kept coming to the same problems with every couple. Everybody that I was counseling, the issue was the real problem, the root of what was going on with them, that they were unsure and the marriage didn't seem like it was going to go right because there had been some cheating in the past and they were trying to move past it and they didn't know exactly how to do it. So I started teaching about that. And a few years ago, I became laser focused on just helping those particular women because if you have that person that you love so much that you're willing to forgive them, you deserve some help. You do. You deserve help. You deserve somebody to be by your side, to be able to tell you the things that you need to do to be able to heal, to be able to reconcile, be able to move on with your life instead of getting stuck. That's what I kept finding. It was so many women who were stuck. You were trying so hard to continue with the love, but every time you tried to make a step forward, it seemed like you were being thrown backward. Every single time you thought maybe I've gotten rid of this pain, it is out of my life, it just kept rearing its ugly head. If that's you, if you know you've got the person, but you're still not sure how to forgive the person, how to make this work again, come talk to me. Go ahead and put questions in the comments for me because I have answers. And I have answers because it happened to me. I am deeply, madly, truly in love with somebody who cheated on me. Now, that was at this point 18 years ago. However, it was like the first whole 4 years of our relationship. So I am pretty sure I got some tips for you, okay? I've made it past the healing point, past where that feeling in your chest is just seems like it's going to knock your heart off beat because you are so hurt and so devastated and so shattered by this thing, by this betrayal. I'm past that. I know that there is life beyond that. Okay. I want to show you how to get there. I want to show you how to press through the fear, press through the anger, press through the sadness, and get back to loving the person that you want to love and being able to live with them every day. That's the whole key, right? It's not even just, oh, I want to forgive you. It's being able to look at you every day and being able to move past what you did because I love you. How do you do that? I am here to teach you about it, okay? So, if you've got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything for me about the issue of healing after infidelity, I am here for you. Put it in the comments, okay? So, first things first, I teach you that this is a trauma. People don't take it as seriously as all that. They don't put the label on it that it's a trauma, but it's a betrayal trauma. That's a huge trauma. Betrayal trauma is somebody that you love, that you care for, that you trust, betrays you in some way. That's why all forms of cheating are a betrayal trauma. You have to heal from them all the same way. Whether he was just talking to some girl on Instagram, or he was talking to somebody on a dating app, or he actually had sex with somebody, or they just had this emotional connection. That's all betrayal. Somebody that you love, somebody that you trust is having an inappropriate relationship with somebody else. It's all the same healing, okay? No matter what you are going through, no matter how bad you feel like it is all the same type of healing, and it is healing from a trauma, okay? So that's what we got to learn how to do, is how we heal from trauma. What do we do about being traumatized by somebody that we love, and then how do we get ourselves to feel safe around that person again, to feel close, to be able to reconnect again? Simple, right? That's exactly what we're doing here. So the first thing that I'm always going to teach you every time we get together is to do your deep breathing have you been doing your deep breathing? If you have not, you are doing yourself a disservice. I need you to jump on that. I know that breathing seems just regular. That doesn't seem like something that would have that much of an effect on you. But what you need to know is trauma is a physical thing. It is actually happening inside your body. There are blood pressure changes. There's actually a shift in the way that your blood flows around your body when you are traumatized. Your breathing changes when you're traumatized. So if we work on the small pieces that we're able to work on, you may not be able to just control your blood pressure right off the bat. Using the deep breathing, you can start to control that, start to bring that down. But you got to start with the deep breathing, okay? The breathing is what's controlling the whole body. So if we're doing that and we're doing that consistently, we are going to start to calm all the other effects of this trauma on our bodies. Okay. So first things first, we do 4-7-8 breathing. Now, if you have never done a deep breathing technique, this might be a little difficult for you. However, do it a couple times with us, you'll have it. All right. What we do is blow out, try and deflate your lungs, try and get out as much as you possibly can. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8, okay? And we're going to do that 3 times in a row, but I want you at home to be doing this 5 times, 5 times a day. Okay, that's what I need you to be doing. Okay, Candy, I see you over there on YouTube. Hey, Mariah, I see you. So glad that you are here. Put comments about healing after infidelity in the comments if you have them. If you got questions, I'm with you. Okay, so we're gonna do our deep breathing together now. 3 times back to back. Just follow along with what I'm saying. You'll have it. Okay. First things first, I want you to blow out. Make the noise of blowing. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you do your deep breathing? Let me know in the comments what happens to your body. There should be some change. If you were a little tight, you should be able to relax a little bit. If you were feeling a little racy, sometimes it calms your brain. All right. Tell me in the comments, how does it feel physically? Because that's what we need to focus on. If we can focus on getting those physical feelings under control, then our minds won't keep on thinking that something is terribly wrong because we feel so awful in our bodies. Okay. So put it in the comments. Mariah said it feels good. It feels good, right? It feels good to take good, deep breaths. Oxygen is good for you. Okay. When you are doing your deep breathing, you are doing something that is positive for your body. You are blowing out excess carbon dioxide. Again, physical thing. That carbon dioxide buildup in your blood actually makes your brain think that something is wrong with you. It makes you think that something is going wrong because that level is so high. But if you can get that to come down, guess what? Your body is like, oh, everything is fine. If you're doing the just blow. A lot of the time, just getting rid of that excess carbon dioxide by blowing will help you. Even if you can't remember 4-7-8, if you can't go through the entire thing, just blow for as long as you possibly can. Take a full deep breath in and see how you feel. Okay. This is physical. This is not just a mental thing. You are going through a physical response to a trauma. We've got to do something about that. Okay. All right, got questions? Let me know. Put them in the comments. Let me make sure. I am over here on YouTube, and I am here in the Love Coach Dasha page on Facebook and my group, Love After Cheating, on Facebook. If you're not in my Love After Cheating group and you are a woman that has been cheated on, you need to come on over there. It's a safe space, okay? It's some place to make you feel calm, make you feel like nobody is saying, oh, you should leave him, you're being a doormat. Nobody's doing that in my group, okay? I understand a lot of groups, they'll be like, oh, you shouldn't be with him and you're making a mistake. I'm not doing all that. I believe in you. I think that you know very damn well what you should have in your life. And if this is the person that you are choosing to be in your life, that must be a special somebody, okay? I'm going to believe in your belief in them. If you think that they are worthy of your forgiveness, then Queen, they are worthy. All right. We don't have to even argue about it. All right. Mariah, you said, I live stream like this all the time. I am here every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. I answer questions every single solitary week, unless, like, I moved, so I didn't do it for a couple of weeks. But every week I'm here with you, unless there is something major going on. I miss major holidays sometimes. Okay. So if you have not joined in my Love After Cheating group, and matter of fact, people are joining, let me go ahead and put you in here. If you have not joined my Love After Cheating group over on Facebook, come on. You need to be with us, okay? You need to go ahead on and come and join us and not have to deal with all of that negativity, listening to all that fear from other people who want to tell you that you're making a mistake with your life. This is your life. I feel like you have every right to make every decision that you choose towards who you love and who you want to be with. If you want to be doing unconditional love, why should anybody try and stop you? That's insane. Why would we do that? All right. I'm not trying to stop you. I want you to be loving. I want you to be happy with who you love. Okay. Now, next thing that we're always going to talk about when we get together is that I need you to be doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you at all sat down with your journal and wrote down your thoughts? I need you to do that. This is, again, healing the trauma, working on the trauma. When you journal, what you're doing is taking those irritating, nagging thoughts that just keep repeating over and over again in your head, write them down. Write how you think about them, how you feel about them, what you think they came from. Write those things down. If you write it down, a lot of the time your brain will start repeating it over and over again in your head, because your brain is like, okay, she's writing it down in the journal. Mariah, you said you used to journal all the time. Go back to doing it, okay? If it was helping, go back to it. You take your journal, you write in the book. This is the book. This is the book. Your brain knows, hey, when I'm writing something down in there, that's important, all right? I know that it is in the book whenever I need to go back to it. I don't have to keep repeating this to her over and over again. She heard me and she wrote it down in the book. Okay, you're training your brain to take those thoughts and funnel them into a specific and tangible thing. So your brain is like, oh, I don't have to keep on holding on to it because it's out here in the world. It's with her already. She can just open up the book. Okay, so let me give you a couple of rules for doing your journaling. Not even rules, just some guidelines. First of all and foremost, I don't want you to really write more than 5 minutes. Take a little bit of time. What happens, especially when we're trying to get past this infidelity, our hearts are aching. We want to write it all down. We want to talk about the entire thing. And I appreciate you wanting to talk about the entire thing, but just try to write for about 5 minutes. The thing is, if you fill up page after page after page, you will feel like you have written everything that needs to be written, but your brain will actually work in patterns. So some things that you write one day, you wouldn't write another day. So if you can consistently just be writing about 5 minutes, the things that come to the very top, when they bubble up to the surface, if you can go ahead and write those things, you will discover patterns in those things. You will be able to figure out when you're triggered and why you're triggered before you're triggered. You will be able to read the book and be like, okay, this happened at 9:26 p.m. on a Thursday. And hey, this happened about 9:30 on a Thursday. And hey, this happened about 9:20 on a Thursday. Something about around 9 o'clock on a Thursday is triggering you. There is something that happens that is lending to your distress. You'll be able to see it if you just give yourself just a little bit of writing time, just periodically through the day. If something comes up to the surface, go ahead and write it. Now, I want you to start off just writing first thing in the morning when you wake up, the things that bubble to the surface. When you have like 3 seconds where you forget. Okay, you have like 3 seconds in the morning before you remember that he cheated. Okay, after you remember the things that pop to the front of your mind, that's what you write now. Okay. A lot of the time, that's the thing that will nag at you all day, that will have you all distracted and stressed out for the rest of the day. If you write that down, a lot of the time you can leave it in the journal and say, hey, look, we gotta go to work. We can come back to this a little later, but I got you. I understand. Brain, I hear you. This is the issue. And then you can come back to it a little bit later on. And that trains your brain not to think about it all day long. You are telling your brain, hey, the assignment is go to work, and then we'll come back to the book. It's in the book. I'll come back to the book and we'll talk about it then. So you're training your brain not to just sit and dwell on the thing that it thinks is most important all day long. And then before you go to bed too, right before you get ready to lay it down, drink a nice cup of chamomile tea, sit down and write for about 5 minutes. Whatever comes to the surface as you're getting ready to go to bed, because those are the things that'll create nightmares, okay? If you write them down and get them out of your head. If it's a problem, if it's something that you've been stressing about, you can assign your brain the task of right, we're going to write it down right now. And then look, unconscious, you work on that. I'm about to go to sleep. Okay. We got to shut it down for the night because we're not going to be able to function. We're not going to be able to know if something bad is happening if we don't get some sleep. So I'm asleep. Okay. Unconscious brain, you work on this problem. Okay. You work on that through the night and let me know about it later. Okay. When you do that, you're teaching your brain that you don't need to sit and ruminate about something all night. You don't need to be kept up by it. You don't need to keep having nightmares about it over and over and over again. Okay. Mariah, my live streams are about an hour. I go from usually 9 to 10, but I was like late. So I'll probably be like 9, about 10 tonight. All right. The other guidelines for doing your journaling, I want you to write your date, your time, and your level of anxiety. Your date and time, again, we're trying to put together when things happen, why you get triggered. So if you're using the date and time every time you journal, you will have a good idea about when things happen. Yeah, you're going to have the morning and the evening one, but periodically through the day, if something strikes you, you can write it down. Then your level of anxiety. Level of anxiety is 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are wonderful. All is right with the world. That's a good thing. Write that down. You need to remember that because on trauma, your brain believes that everything is awful. Your life has never been worse, but it was always bad. Okay. It will tell you that to try and keep you in a little hole and keep you away from people to try and prevent you from being hurt. So we've got to let our brains know, no, this was a 0 day. This was a day where I felt wonderful, that I wasn't thinking about it all day. We were getting along. I was feeling healed. I was feeling pretty close to him. I actually have good days. So then you're proving to yourself that sometimes your brain will lie to you. As you were healing from trauma, your brain was going to lie to you. Your brain lies to you on a daily basis. I can prove it to you right now. Right this second, if you're seeing me, okay, if you have the ability of sight, there is rods and cones in your eyes that let you be able to see, okay? There is a part of your eye where it's attached to your retina, all right? That's a little nerve. It's attached to the back of your eyeball. So there is a spot where there are no rods and cones. There is quite literally a hole in the center of your vision all the time because there are no rods and cones on that particular part of the eye. There is nothing to see there. So your brain fills it in. Right this minute, your brain is lying to you. You don't see me as I really am because your brain is actually filling in the blanks as you are looking at me right now. So your brain is a liar, okay? It will lie all the time. And it will especially lie to try and protect you. If you are feeling sad, if you are feeling vulnerable, it will keep saying that, oh, yes, everything is awful. You should feel sad and vulnerable. You should be scared and you should protect yourself. It will tell you that even if that's not the case. So we've got to prove to our brains that actually, no, I know for sure. I wrote it down in the journal, in the book, says that I was having a great day. So obviously, you can't be telling me the truth when you say that everything is always bad. So then you'll be able to fight back against some of that negativity that shouts in your brain while you're traumatized. Okay? All right. Next thing that I'm always going to tell you, let me check and make sure I don't have any questions. Don't see any other ones, but keep them coming. If you want to ask me questions, I got answers. All right. So the next thing that I'm always going to talk to you about every time we get together, honey, I need you to develop an attitude of gratitude. Okay. Like I said, the trauma will try and lead you to believe that everything is god awful in your life. But the practice of gratitude trains your brain to look for the things that are positive instead of looking for proof that everything is negative. So if you are insisting to your brain, hey, you got to give me 5 things. 5 things, okay? I am grateful for this dress. I've had this dress for years. I love this dress so much. You'll see me wear it on a regular basis. But I am grateful for these colors. I am grateful for the way it's shaped on my body. I am grateful I found it at Marshall's for like $20. Okay? Grateful. 3 things right there, back to back to back. I am grateful for the internet. I am grateful for ChatGPT is quite a thing to be grateful for. I am grateful for each and every one of you sitting here listening to me and giving me questions. I am grateful for that. All right. That was 5 right off the top of my head. If you can train your brain to look for things you're grateful for instead of things that you're scared of or things that hurt you or things that upset you, you are fighting a huge part of what trauma actually is. The trauma keeps trying to tell you that everything is bad. So if you insist on looking for the good, your brain will pick up on that as the cue. And it will do that all the time. It will do it when you least expect it to. If you're consistent every day when you do your journaling, write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And then periodically throughout the day, just monitor your thoughts and see, don't your brain just give you something every now and again. Be like, here, look, this is a thing. This is kind of like that thing you were grateful for this morning. Do you like this thing too? It will look for things to please you. It will look for things to give you that feel good to you. And all we need is to feel good for about 17 seconds. And we can feel good for about 17 seconds and hold on to a positive thought for just that long. Your brain will offer you another one. It will be like, oh, we're doing positive. I got positive. Hold on. And it will give you another positive thought. It will fight some of that terror and horror that is going on in your brain because you've been traumatized. Okay. So put what you're grateful for in the comments. Let me know. What is the thing right now you are the most grateful for? The thing that you're grateful for, you'll know that it's gratitude because your brain won't be able to argue with you. Your brain won't be able to argue and say, well, I don't like that dress. No, I know I like this dress. Okay. I know I look good in this dress. You can't tell me that I can't be grateful for the way my body looks in this little wrap dress. Okay. My brain cannot think of a negative when it is something that I'm actually truly grateful for. Okay. So if you are practicing that on a regular basis, a lot of the time you can get your brain to shut up about things that are making you miserable and you can get a little happier. Okay. All right. Last thing before I go on to the lesson for tonight is that I want you, with all my heart, I want you to stop asking him all those damn questions about the affair. Stop it. Cut it out. Don't ask him. Why do you keep asking him? Okay. You think, and I tell you what's happening. It's a trauma response. Again, we are working on the trauma. Your trauma says, if I know all the details about what happened, it will never happen again. Okay. I understand that is a thought to cling to. I understand that it feels like, oh, yes, if I do that, then I won't have to worry about being hurt this way again. But that's just not true. People can be sneaky. People can do the wrong thing, even if you know every bit of the sneaky that they did the first time. Okay. People can be sneaky. All right. And people can be not so sneaky because more than likely you found out about the infidelity probably before he told you. But you probably would have known it anyway. Okay. Even without having all the information from him, you'd probably know it anyway. You're a smart cookie. Okay. But I know your brain with the trauma tells you that, yes, I have to know all the details. That's actually not what it's doing. What it's doing is collecting ammunition. It is saying, I got to know all the details about this. So every time she starts to get a little closer to him, I'm going to throw this fact in her face. I'm going to make it so that she cannot deny that he's an awful, awful person. That is what your brain is doing. It's not trying to help you heal. It is trying to protect you. Okay. That is a different thing. I know that it seems like protecting me would be giving me what I want. No, protecting you is isolating you. Protecting you is keeping you away from what it thinks will harm you, even if that's the person you want to be the closest to. Okay. So it's not trying to help you. Stop believing your brain when it tells you that. It's lying. Again, it will lie to you. All right. What we've got to do is make sure that we are not making our trauma worse by getting all these details and absorbing them. You don't need any more information than this. You know he cheated, and you know you were trying to work it out. What else do you need to know? What else could possibly be relevant? You want all the little vicious details? You want all of that stuck in your head as you were trying to heal, as you were trying not to be traumatized? You want to add more trauma to it, not to be traumatized? No, that's not the way it works. I'm sorry. It does not work that way. So stop asking him all those questions about the affair. If you can do that, if you can just stop asking questions for about a week straight, it will cure that. It will stop the feedback loop in your brain, because every question that you ask, your brain wants to get closer and closer to the questions about the affair. So if you just ask, how are you doing today? Your brain will be like, well, ask him another question. Well, ask him another question until we get to talking about the affair. Okay. So if you don't ask any questions, turn everything you're about to say into a statement, you'll hear it too. If you're about to say something and you turn it into a statement, that you are making sure your brain knows, actually, I was talking about the affair. I wasn't talking about him. I wasn't talking about anything good. I was talking about the affair. If you make it into a statement. Okay. So try that out. Not how are you, or how was your day. I hope you had a fabulous day today, baby. All right. That invites people to talk about it. All right. It does. I hope you had a fabulous day. They'll either say, yeah, it was fabulous, or tell you why it wasn't fabulous. They answered the question without you asking a question. Okay. I want you to work on that skill. It is a skill. It is a skill, but you can do it. All right. I promise you, it's a whole lot better than asking all those questions. Okay. All right. So that's the basics. We're starting out talking about the trauma. We're starting about getting to what we can do about it right now. And you see, every single thing I said was stuff that you can do all by yourself. You don't need him to help you. You don't need him to participate. You can do these things all by yourself without his involvement. Okay. It's going to help. I swear it is. Because if you can start to heal on your own, you won't feel like you have to wait on him to start healing. If you can start doing some of the things that will heal you, that make you feel better, that settle you, that regulate your emotions after this trauma, you will recognize that you don't need him to fix it for you. You are a goddess. You are a queen. You can fix your own problems. problems. Okay. I know this is a problem that he caused. I know that. However, it is best for you to try and heal what is going on within you from within you instead of waiting for somebody on the outside to put that healing inside you. It doesn't work that way. Okay. It will take forever. You will be sitting here hurting way longer than you need to because you're waiting on somebody else to fix it for you when you can just start working on fixing it yourself. Okay. I don't want you to be disempowered. I want you to feel like you're stuck in a corner and you can't do anything. I am all of my advice is based on you being able to do something about this. Okay. All right. Next thing. We're gonna get a little bit into depth, getting into a little lesson today. Got a quick lesson for you, about 20 minutes. Join me. All right. So one of the biggest lies betrayal trauma tells women is that if you're really healing, okay, you wouldn't still struggle. That you wouldn't even have a struggle. If you were really healing, you wouldn't feel like you're behind some days. You wouldn't feel like one step forward, two steps back. You wouldn't feel like that if you were really healing. All right. But healing is not a linear process. It has never been. We all know that. We've heard it, right? Healing is not a linear thing. It's not from A to B to C. You're all over the alphabet as you are trying to heal, just trying to get a little stability, get that regulation going, get into a space where you have been consistently feeling good. But some days you just don't feel good. Human beings themselves are not linear. So it's crazy to think that your healing from a trauma would be A, B, C, and then you go on down to the end of the alphabet. That's not the way this works. This week, I was supposed to be starting the Trust Issues Challenge. All right. I got food poisoning. All right. On Monday, when I was supposed to start it, I got food poisoning and I couldn't do it. All right. I had gotten all ready. I was ready for the whole thing. I had even revamped it a little bit because this is like the 7th annual, doing the thing. But I needed to rest. Okay. Sometimes it's like that. Plans change. Obstacles come up. Even when you are thinking that you've got it completely under control, things will change. Now, I'm not telling you to make you feel sorry for me. All right. I want you to just understand that things are always going to happen. Okay. Things are always going to happen. Even as you are in the midst of healing from this trauma, there are going to be things. Life will send a curveball right at your head and you got to duck. And okay, then you got to come back to your healing and be consistent with it again. Women often think, I got triggered again. So I'm back at the beginning. I hear that all the time. I'm back at square one because I got triggered about this thing. Or I had a bad week, so I failed in my healing. Or I lost my momentum, so the healing must not be working. Okay? Healing is layered. It is cyclical. It goes in cycles. It is based on your nervous system. So if you are in the midst of something bad happening that didn't have anything to do with the infidelity and your nervous system has kicked in, it is so easy to go back to feeling awful about the affair, about the infidelity, even though that's not the problem right now. The problem is somebody's in the hospital and the dog got hit by a car. All sorts of things that will activate your nervous system will take you right back to the trauma of the infidelity. A hard day is not the same thing as seeing all of your progress, all of your healing journey just destroyed. It's one bad day. It's a bad week. It's a couple of days of food poisoning. It's a couple of days where you have to just take care of yourself and rest and not deal with it. Okay? It's not all or nothing. Your healing will happen in increments. It will happen in very quiet moments where you don't even expect it. So don't believe that it has to be all or nothing thing. It is going to happen in cycles. as you are healing, hell, your menstrual cycle will throw you all off. If you get to, what is it? I think it's the luteal phase, or is it the follicular phase? I forget which one it is. I know it's not ovulatory because you feel good then. I think it's follicular. You get to that phase in your cycle, and then all of a sudden you have lost it. You don't have any healing at all anymore. You are screaming. You have lost everything that you thought you gained just because that cycle has come up and threw you off. All right. It is not a linear thing. You can experience a setback and then get back on track. Okay. The nervous system is going to need rest. Stress accumulates. It just grows. It piles on top of each other. So if it's okay, yes, we are dealing with the infidelity, we're healing from that. You think you've gotten a pretty good ways down that path, but then a parent gets sick, or your child is sick and you have to deal with that, and you're staying up all night because now they got a fever, so you got to stay up with them, and they got the cough, so you got to run the shower and try and rock them to sleep, and they are miserable and they don't want to get off you and they're clinging to you. All sorts of things can keep piling up and making you feel like the stress that is accumulated is all to do with healing from the infidelity, and that's not the case. Betrayal trauma already overloads your nervous system. It is already super overloaded. And then when you add just regular day-to-day stress, if you get sick, all right, just regular day-to-day stress, if you haven't slept well, if you add that on top of it, it is even further burning out your system. Exhaustion lowers your emotional regulation. You can't control yourself if you are exhausted. Your brain is not working properly. You are not able to keep up the way that you would be able to keep up if you had gotten the rest that you needed. And physical illness affects your emotional resilience too. Uh, so many people, I worked as a nurse for so long, about 26 years, and that is the thing. When people are in the hospital, like if you've got a serious injury all of a sudden, it just makes you weepy. It makes you so just overwhelmed. You're hurting. Your plans are ruined. You can't do what you normally would do. And so you're just devastated, and that lowers all of your emotional resilience just as much as your physical resilience. So you need to make sure that when you are overwhelmed, when you're flooding, when you're irritable, when you're spiraling, when you're feeling all hopeless, you're getting the rest you need. You're getting the food and the hydration that you need, like the basics. You need to be taking care of yourself. Get the rest that you need so that you don't keep spiraling out. Sometimes your body is not just failing you, it's overloaded. It's dealing with too much, this awful thing that has happened to you, and then life throwing itself at your head over and over and over again. Okay. Women will kind of panic when they slip up. Many women become afraid of setbacks and triggers and emotional returns and like bad days. It'll start to freak you out. You're like, well, what is going to happen to me when I feel like this? If the pain came back, then I must not be healing. That's what the thought is in your head. And remember, I told you, your brain will lie to you. It's lying to you when it says that. If the pain came back, it is just the fact that you are remembering the pain. The pain will resurface some of the time. That does not mean that you are not really doing the job, doing the work, putting it in to be able to heal. It just means that sometimes that pain comes back. Sometimes that pain button gets pressed and there's nothing you can do about that. Healing is not never struggling again. For some reason, people seem to think that. They're like, oh, if I'm healed, then I'll never struggle with this again. And that's just not the case. This was a huge thing. This is a huge betrayal. It has affected your body and your brain long term. Triggers are created in the moment, but a lot of the time you don't even know what the triggers are until they surface, and then they repeat over and over again into the future. You don't even have a clue what it is until it actually surfaces. So you are thinking that, oh, it's going to be a short-term thing. If I am healing, then I am never going to struggle with this thing again. But triggers will come out of nowhere. They will throw themselves at you, and you have to deal with them in the moment. And life will throw itself at you, and you have to deal with that in the moment too. Healing is recovering faster, having a moment, being able to come back from it. I teach that a lot. That is a lot of what happens with most of the clients that I have. It's I am trying to recover from a setback, but I can't quite do it. I am lingering in it. I am overthinking it. I am questioning it to death. And so it's harder to get past it. I can teach you about getting there faster, recovering from that moment and letting it be a moment instead of letting it be the whole day, letting it be the whole week, letting it ruin the whole thing that's coming up with you, letting it ruin your whole summer. All right. You can regulate sooner when you're healing. You can recognize that you are scared more quickly. You can recognize that the fear speech is fear speech. Fear speech is the stuff that says, oh, you're being a doormat. You're going to let him hurt you again. And if you open yourself up to him, he is definitely going to cheat on you again. You hear that inside your head, and you hear that from outside. You hear from other people, don't you? Anybody that you talk to about this, they're like, well, you got to watch out because you're going to get hurt again. If you are able to recognize that that is just fear talking, and pull yourself away from that fear, stop dwelling in it, stop repeating it over and over again, you will get to recover faster from a trigger. All right. You got to recognize the fear, though. You got to recognize that that's all it is. In the moment, it is so loud and so insistent, it sounds like it's the truth, but it's actually not the truth. It's just a fear running around masquerading itself as the truth. Okay. And then healing is returning to safety more intentionally. This is a person you want to feel safe with. So you have to practice feeling safe with them. You have to let yourself do that. Progress in healing is not perfection. It's not getting it 100% right. It's recovery. That's what I teach you, is how to recover and how to reconcile. Those two things, how you recover it each and every time it tries to knock you down, and how you reconcile each time that it tries to push you away. Okay? So, if you need to restart, let's try and work on restarting without shame about having to restart. It is a normal thing to have a setback and not be able to continue on the path that you are on right now. Even if you feel like you were doing so great on the path, sometimes bad things happen. You got to back up a step or two to be able to go forward a step or two. You don't need to punish yourself over it. Keep on telling yourself how terrible you did and why did you do that? And you know better. Yeah, you might know better, but your body is responding. It is a trauma. It is a physical thing. So it's not about thinking, all right? A lot of the time, it's about your body reacting. You don't have to shame yourself for that. You don't have to punish yourself for that being the fact. You don't have to catastrophize. You don't have to say that, oh, because I got this setback, we will never be able to make it. It's probably best if we just go ahead and get a divorce because I don't know how we get back from here. All right. You do not need to start over. Please hear me when I say that. When you have a setback in your healing, in this trauma, as you are dealing with it, you do not need to start over in your whole healing process just to be able to get past it. I know people say it to me all the time. It is a regular thing. Oh, I got triggered, so I'm back at square one. You are not. You have done tons of work already. You are well along the path. You had a stumble. You may have fallen off the path, but you didn't go all the way back to the beginning of it. You might be stumbling around in the woods at the edge of the path for a little bit, but you have not gone all the way back to where you started from. Give yourself enough credit to know that you would not completely ruined everything just because of one stumble, even a couple of stumbles, okay? And just because you spiraled, um, you don't have to spiral just because you paused. Just because you didn't continue on, you weren't as consistent this week, that doesn't mean you have to spiral out. That doesn't mean you have to start thinking the worst. You don't have to do that. You don't have to keep punishing yourself and making yourself miserable just because you slipped off the path a little bit. Okay? You can do your breathing. You can breathe. You can regroup. Figure out, okay, what's one thing, what's thing one, thing two, thing three that I need to do that's going to start me feeling better, that's going to put me back on the track. And then you restart gently. You are gentle with yourself. You baby yourself the same way that you would a kid and they are scared. And you're like, hey, honey, I know you are scared, but you have been very, very brave. And we are going to get back up. I know this knocked you down. I know this knocked you down and it hurt you and it made you stressed out. However, I know that you are a strong girl and you can get back up on your feet and you can continue on and you can feel better. Right here doesn't feel very good, but just up ahead, it will feel better. It's not going to feel this bad forever. Nothing this bad lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever anyway. All right. Talk to your inner child. Talk to that hurt part of you like it's a wounded kid and guide it along the path. Okay. Restart it gently. Um, you got to do your deep breathing. You got to do your journaling. Drink some damn water. Could you please stop drinking coffee every 5 minutes? Put the energy drinks down. Drink some plain water. Hydrate your cells. Okay. Again, this is a physical response we are having. Trauma is a physical thing. So if you are consistently feeding your body, giving yourself good calories, and giving yourself hydration, it's going to make the machine of your body function better. If you are dehydrated all the time and your head hurts every day and you can't even pee, honey, yeah, you're going to struggle. Okay? Drink some damn water. I got a big cup. I got a big old cup. I fill it up with water, drink that at least twice a day. So I know that I'm getting enough water. I know that I'm hydrating my cells enough so that I am not running around dehydrated. I ran around dehydrated for years. Okay? It sucks. It makes your body hurt. It makes your head hurt. It makes you feel fuzzy. Okay? It's not good for you. Drink some water. Okay? Anyway, sleep. Do grounding activities. Go outside with your bare feet and put your bare feet in the grass. Okay? Try it. Okay? Little things like go hug a tree. Go outside and find a tree you can wrap your arms around. Come up, put your whole body up close to it and squeeze that tree. And see, don't you feel a little bit more grounded? See, don't your that anxiety, doesn't that come down if you do it? Grounding is an activity that works. I don't know, something about the ions in your body reacting to the ions in the earth. I don't know what it is, but I know it works. Okay, I don't even care how it works. It works. So do that. Even just sitting at the base of a tree, sit with your back snugged up to the tree. Lean your head back against the tree. Try and bring your body up, bring your knees up close to your chest, wrap yourself up, and just sit there and breathe and let the tree support your back for a few minutes. Grounding works. I'm sorry, it just does. There's an exercise called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can hear, 3 things that you can smell, 2 things that you can taste, and then like 1 thing you can feel. I can't remember exactly which ones go which, but you are just being in your body. You are using your senses. You are touching things. You are feeling the seat beneath you. You are feeling the pillow. You are hearing. What do I hear? I hear we got a little refrigerator in our room. I hear a little refrigerator running. Okay. Just bringing yourself into your body and paying attention to what your body is experiencing. Okay. And then be soft to yourself. Dang. You have been through something. You have been through a trauma. The person you loved cheated on you. I am not saying that that's not a horrible thing, but you've got to be soft to yourself about being willing to forgive. I know it's easy to be hard on yourself about forgiving. It's easy to say, oh, you're so stupid. You're falling for it again. You're going to be hurt. I know it's easy to be harsh with yourself because your brain is screaming negative things at you, but you don't have to listen. You can be soft towards yourself, accepting towards this love that you want to open your heart up to, and go ahead and soften yourself to open yourself up to it. Okay. You don't have to be hard. You don't have to be harsh. It is not your fault that this happened. You love this person. You don't have to give up on that love just because they did something incredibly stupid. People do stupid things throughout their entire lives. Okay. If you're trying to have an entire lifetime with somebody, they're going to do stupid stuff to you. So there's no need for you to sit there and feel like, oh, they are just trying to victimize me and I'm just so stupid. You don't need to do that. All right. You're going to do things wrong. He's going to do things wrong. You are practicing learning how to forgive one another. Okay. Resting is not failure. Pausing is not quitting. Just because you didn't get to do the thing, just because you didn't get to follow through the way that you wanted to follow through, it doesn't mean that you are failing. It doesn't mean that all your progress is destroyed. Okay. So if you put it in the comments, which makes you feel like you're failing at healing. If you got one of those for me, let me know. Or what happens in your mind when you have a really bad day? Like what goes on your mind, what goes on in your body? Put it in the comments and I will respond to everybody. All right, let me make sure. Don't have any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints anywhere over here on Love Coach Dasha or over here in Love After Cheating. Doesn't look like. Okay. All right. So, don't see any questions. Cool. So, like I said, I was supposed to start my trust issues challenge this week. All right. Did not work out that way. It did not work out, but I am coming back. Okay. Again, just because you got slowed down doesn't mean that you stop. All right. So this is what happened. This week, my son is graduating from high school. I got too much to do to have a challenge this upcoming week, but I have decided to go ahead and make it be June 8th. We are going to start now. Usually my challenges go all through the week. It goes Monday through Friday. You'll be with me every day. However, I already had a date scheduled. Okay. I have a date. We got tickets. Okay. So we are going out on Wednesday, the 10th. So we're going to skip over the 10th. So we're going to do the 8th, the 9th. Then we're going to skip the 10th, do the 11th, 12th, 13th. So that's going to put us into Saturday. So we're going to do our entire challenge June 8th, starting June 8th through the 13th. Okay. With that one exception for our date night. I told him when to go to the thing. And he was like, yeah, we can go to the thing. We're going to dress up. We're going to look good. We're going to go to the thing. And I'm like, yay. All right. So I will tell you all about it when I get back. So I am going to put the link. And I got to fix the posters that say it started in May 28th because it didn't. All right. So there we go. It was supposed to start May 18th, not 28th. So I'm putting that in the Love After Cheating group. And then I am putting that in Love Coach Dasha. And I'm going to come over and put it on YouTube as well. So you can find the link. But if you would like to join me for the Trust Issues Challenge, if you feel like You want to be able to trust again, but you're just not sure how. You want some guidance. You want some steps that you can take. You want to be able to feel like you're not making a mistake about trusting again. Go ahead and just text me, DM me the word trust, and I will send you the link for the Trust Issues Challenge so that you can join me on June 8th to get started for that, okay? All right. I'm going to go to YouTube as well. All right. Putting everything in the comments. Okay. So, any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything you want to talk about? Anything about healing and reconciling after infidelity? I got you. All right. There it is. It's in all the comments. And you can just DM me if you want to. Trust, and I will get you linked up with the Trust Issues Challenge. You do not have to work on your trust alone. You do not have to keep on feeling like you cannot trust anymore. Trust is a decision. Trust is something we choose to give. I know it feels like it should be an automatic thing, and it was an automatic thing when you first fell in love. When you first fell in love, the trust happened because your body was swimming in chemicals, it was swimming in hormones. And so your body said, this is somebody that we want to trust, and it looked for reasons to trust him. Okay. You don't have your body doing that right now. You don't have your body assisting you right now. As a matter of fact, it's fighting against you right now. So what we got to do is get your body to stop fighting you and then actually actively make the choice to be trusting, even though it's hard, even though it's scary, even though your body is screaming and trying to rebel. Your body does a lot of things on autopilot. All right. Falling in love and allowing you to trust, and then being afraid and not wanting you to trust. Those are automatic things that you didn't have any control over. But you love this person enough that you want to forgive them. You are choosing forgiveness and understanding and compassion and reconciliation. You are choosing that now. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work towards that. You're going to have to make the decision every day, and you're going to have to follow through on the decision on a regular basis, and you'll get your trust back. Okay. You can get it back. I am not expecting you to trust 100%. I don't want you to. I think that that's insanity. I think that it's a crazy thing at probably the patriarchy. Okay, let's just say that that's what it is. That women are supposed to just 100% trust the man all the time. You're supposed to trust him. Do you trust yourself 100%? The patriarchy, the world wants you to trust him more than you even trust yourself. That's insanity. We're not doing that. Okay. But a good grade, if he can get 80% of your trust, that's a lot of damn trust. That's a passing grade. If he can get up to 85, 90% of your trust, that is a good grade. You are judging him as a real life human being. If you're trusting somebody 100%, you're not trusting them as a person. You're not trusting them to be a human. You are trusting them to be kind of supernatural. So let's think of them as a real live person, and that we shouldn't trust other real live people 100% because we're not totally that trustworthy. Okay. Bring that back a little bit and be realistic about our trust. That's what we need to do. We need to be realistic about our trust. We don't need to trust 100%. We need to trust an amount that makes us feel safe, that makes us feel comfortable, but is not putting ourselves completely on the line just to believe in one person. Insanity. We're not doing that. Okay. Come to the Trust Issues Challenge, and I will teach you about how to trust in real life, a real human being, and have a good, healthy level of trust with somebody that you're going to live with for life. My husband, he's about a 90. He's about a good 90. I trust myself maybe about 95. So, he's neck and neck with me. He's doing all right. My phone's ringing. My alarm's going off. But yeah, if we work on that throughout the week. We're going to consistently be working on it, showing ourselves that we can trust, that we can make those decisions, and we don't have to be afraid of that. Then we are going to get to a trusting place faster that is realistic with what is actually like reasonable in the world. Okay. All right. So that's about it. Um, One last thing that I want to tell you, and I was doing the things at the beginning. I was doing the deep breathing, the journaling, the gratitude practice, and not asking all the questions. Okay, we talked about that. The last of that is the practices. This is all these things are the practices, I call them. These are things that I tell every single one of my clients. This is the basics of working with me. Okay. This is do this every day. Even when you're not talking to me, if you can do this every day, if you can be consistent about doing each of these things each day, you are going to be actively working on getting past the anxiety, the trauma that this infidelity has caused. So the last one of these that we want to talk about today is to do your affirmations, honey. Do your affirmations. What are you doing? Are you not talking good about yourself? Okay. I don't care if it's a song lyric. I don't care if you buy a deck of cards. I don't have mine with me right now. I don't care if you hit me up and say affirmation, and I will send you a link to get my affirmations. 60 days of affirmations coming right to your inbox to help you to feel like you're not doing anything wrong for loving. Okay. After this infidelity, it's real easy to feel like, oh, you're such a doormat for forgiving him, for loving. But you should give yourself affirmations for being a loving, kind, open, compassionate person. There's nothing wrong with that. We got to start giving ourselves a little bit of credit for the fact that we're loving. Okay. We're not doing anything wrong by being loving. That's not wrong. It's stressful, sure. It is stressful to some of the time to feel like we are putting ourselves on the line, but we're not doing anything wrong. So you got to talk good about yourself. You got to say positive things about yourself. Remember how I said your brain will lie to you? It will lie to you about you. It will tell you that you were just too ugly and that's why he cheated on you, or you're just too awful of a wife, or you're too awful of a girlfriend and that's the reason that that's happened to you, or it will always be your fault, and nothing will ever be okay again because you're just inferior. It will tell you that. And that's insanity to sit there and say about yourself, okay? It's insanity. We're not going to do it. We have to be focused on telling ourselves good things about ourselves, all right? So I want you to take the time this week, whatever it is that is playing in your head. I'm not beautiful enough. I am beautiful and charming and desirable. All right. Instead of believing that awful thing, pile up on the things that you do believe. I am not ugly. I am beautiful and charming and desirable. How about that? We're going to do that one for today. I am beautiful. I am charming. I am desirable. You say that to yourself. You say it looking in your eyes, whether you're on camera or looking at yourself in the bathroom mirror. However, you look at yourself and say the words that you need to hear. Say them like you believe them. Say them like you are tenderly trying to help have your best friend believe wonderful things about herself. Okay. If you go ahead and consistently do that, have it in your brain that I said, I am beautiful and charming and desirable. And I believe that about myself. And say it over and over and over again. Your brain will have this memory of it happening. Your brain doesn't know the difference between make believe and real. If you tell it something and you tell it something consistently, it will believe you. You are in control of this brain. I know it seems like it's in control of you a lot of the time, but that's not the case. You are in control of this brain, and what you tell it consistently is what it will believe. So if you say over and over again, I am beautiful, I am charming, I am desirable, you will believe that about yourself. Just continue to say it. You don't have to believe it at first. That's not the point. The point is you don't believe it. The point is that you don't feel like that about yourself. So if you are consistently saying something that you are wanting to feel about yourself and you keep on saying it like you really, really mean it, your brain has a record of you saying it like you mean it. Even if you don't feel it, it still remembers you doing that. It's still like, well, no, she said that she feels like she's beautiful and she's charming and she's desirable. And let me let her be a little charming today. Let her be a little desirable today. What can we do to prove that that's right? Your brain will try and prove whatever you repeatedly tell it, it will try and prove it to you. So lie to it just like it lies to you. Okay? Lie. Even if you don't believe it, lie. It's fine. What is telling yourself something good about yourself going to do to hurt you? It's not. All right? It's not going to harm you at all. You're going to feel good. Okay? All right, y'all. That's about it. Oh, okay. So, real quick recap. Do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice, do your affirmations. Don't feel like just because you got set back, you are all the way set back to the beginning. And more than anything else, don't do what the fear and the pain tell you to do. You are traumatized. Your body is being flooded by the fear and the pain. And so if you continue to do what the fear and the pain tell you to do, you will continue to hurt. That's where that came from. That's the path that you'd be on. If you do the exact opposite of whatever the fear and the pain tell you to do, if the fear tells you to go through his phone, put his phone down. If it tells you that you got to check his GPS, go take a walk. Go drink some water. Get away from get away from your phone so you don't keep on looking for him. Whatever it is that the fear and the pain are telling you to do the exact opposite, and you will be on the healing path every single time. I promise you, it will show you the way out of the woods. Okay? All right, y'all. Think that's about it. Don't see any questions, comments, thoughts, or complaints. So that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. If nobody's told you lately, I love you and I'm so, so proud of you. You are experiencing what it's like to have unconditional love. You are choosing love and forgiveness and compassion in a world that needs every bit of that it can get. So you should be proud of yourself. And if you are not yet, I'll be proud of you. Okay? Mwah! I love you, and I will see you again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Bye, y'all.